Another beautiful Texas morning. I'm going to remove this GTO gate operator and install a USAutomatic Patriot II. Came out to here and install it, and the gate has started to drag on the ground. So when that happens, but you can see all that scraping on the ground, that's all new. That's not wasn't there before. So I'm pretty confident that the gate post has moved for whatever reason. So it looks like we've already had one set of hinges put on there and taken off, and now here's a second set, which I'm happy with. This it's probably just meeting the weight requirements of this particular gate because it has wood. This 5-inch barrel hinge and maybe a 7-inch would have been good. But when you see a post like that that's out of the ground that high for no reason, you start to wonder. The reason that is because they didn't dig down deep enough for the gate post. You start to wonder if that's the reason why that is not cut off or all the way up like that, is because the installers, when they came out and put it in, they didn't dig it down deep enough. You can see that there's been some modification right there, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it doesn't look like it was to get it straight or anything, because it's in line. This stub up piece is in line with that. So don't know exactly what's going on here. Just know that we've got a gate dragging where it was not dragging before, and now it's got to get shimmed. So I'll get somebody else out here to help me with it, so we can support the gate and have a little bit hotter welder than what I carry on my truck. So let's take a look at the gate operator real quick. So we're taking out this GTO Mighty Mule, and we're going to use the existing electrical that's here. We're going to mount the gate operator to this fence, and we're going to rest it on this post right here. So that should be just fine. I'm going to use the power. We're going to run the power supply, power plug over here. Transformer should fit. If it doesn't, then we'll make arrangements for it, and then we'll cut these brackets off and start fresh with a new gate operator. Here's the installation of the housing for the USAutomatic Patriot. I'm installing small screws that are attached to the wood pickets, and then I'm installing the longer screws that are going to the horizontal railing on the fence. I'm installing the control board there and using the electrostatic dissipation bag as a cover for it. I'm installing the charger controller here, and the plug that goes to the actuator cable. The battery is already in there, so I'll just make the connections on the top of the battery for that. Here's a common issue that happens when you are plugging in the charge pack. The customer will tell you that they have an outlet out there for you, but the cover is not big enough to cover the power supply. So then you have to get a qualified technician to come out and get you an outlet for that. This receiver is a LiftMaster 312 HM. You can see that I'm making a custom cable for it. It comes with its own wiring, but this is one of the extra things that we do to make sure that the receiver has a good connection to the gate operator control board. 9 times out of 10, when people call you, they're going to say the remotes don't work, and you need to be able to eliminate that sometimes false claim that the remotes aren't working. It could be something else, and make sure that you have your wiring done properly, which I do these custom cables here and make sure all my guys do these cables. We use these solderless terminal connectors by crimping them on there. And this gives us a good connection to the receiver, and then we have bare wire on the other end of what we call a whip. This is just a small low voltage whip. It's just a 4-conductor 18 gauge stranded cable. This one happens to be direct burial. You don't necessarily need the direct burial, but I like it because it has a durable jacket and will stand a lot of abuse. I have the USAutomatic terminal strip here, and I've stripped back the insulation on the conductors, and now I'm just plugging it in to the control board and making sure that we have a good connection. I like to do all these steps first before I even mount the arm or anything, because when I go to test the actuator arm, the extend and the retract, I want to be able to control it with the remote. Now, this is not something that you would want to do as an end user without having the proper safety devices installed, but as an installer for temporary purposes, it's not uncommon to do this, and it's something that I highly recommend do because it's a lot easier to get the installation done when you have that remote already programmed in. I have the welds done on the bracket for the front part of the support arm. And the welds done for the bracket on the back part of the gate arm. So that bracket, and then there's the actuator arm. So I've cleaned that up. Now I'm just gonna let it cool so a paint will adhere to it, and then we'll get it painted. And get where the old bracket was on there. I've got it cleaned up, and that'll get painted as well too. So now we just got to put the photo eye on. Still have a couple things to do. Hook up the photo eye and make sure that the safety device is working properly. Right now I have the safety bypass. That's why I'm able to open and close it. But I have to open and close it because I got to make sure my spacing and everything is right. So still have to zip tie the actuator cable over there. But for the most part, everything on the inside is done. Now we'll install the safety device and install the keypad. Alright, I did something I normally don't do on these Seiko alarm photo eyes. I welded that bracket on there. I'm just getting tired of having to break screws and all that stuff, so I welded it on there. I don't think that's going to be any problem at all. So now I'll go ahead and I've got it wired up. Just got to get the screwdriver in there. It feels good. There we go. Alright, so we got one in there. Now we'll just get this other one. It's kind of tough to see and doing it blind. There we go. You don't want to damage the wires. Alright, we're losing daylight, so I just wanted to show you real quick that we've got the actuator arm installed, we've got touch-up paint, we've got the photo eye wire coming up through there, and we've got the actuator cable. I might put another zip tie on that, and then everything in the box is nice and clean. Got the battery fully charged, so we got power. It's all good to go, and everything's nice and clean. It's the Sabbath, so I have got to get my customer taken care of, and I've got the gate working, kind of standing at an angle so we don't show my customer's license plates. As you can see right there, I've got the UL325 sign, and I've also got my photo eye hidden right back there underneath behind those wood pickets. I've got keypad installed. It's a little close to the gate, but because the gate doesn't open this way, I'm okay with it. And I've talked to my customer about this electrical wire needs to get taken care of. As you can see, the gate's opening up and good to go. And I've got my other UL325 sign right back there.